this mean anything to you?
I don't know anything about that at all.
The proprietor doesn't look especially friendly. His business probably doesn't depend on walk-ins.
Hi there. Is this your store?
This the Dixieland drugstore. And I own it. Me. Name's Walker. Willie Walker.
Can you tell me what you know about voodoo?
This is a novelty shop, monsieur.
Do you think I'm stupid? This is a voodoo shop. Look at all this stuff.
These is novelties, curiosities. If people want to think they magic, it's not my concern, you know?
Are you telling me that you own a voodoo shop, but you know nothing about voodoo practices?
Ça n'est pas affaire blanc.
What does that mean?
It mean you should mind your own business, monsieur.
Look, I'm researching voodoo for a book.
I don't have your answers, me. You want to buy something, monsieur?
Do you know anything about snakes?
What kind of snakes?
The kind they use in voodoo?
Pythons, boas, so I've heard.
Really? Do you have one?
Are you crazy? What would I want with a python?
What do you think of Nolans?
I live here all my life, me.
What do you think of Nolans?
If you're not from around here, monsieur, you should sign up for some tours.
What do you know about Marie Laveau?
Marie, she's somebody from the old days. One of them old folk tales. The tourists eat it up, no?
What else do you know about Marie Laveau?
I don't know much, monsieur. Someone at the Voodoo Museum can tell you all about her.
What else do you know about Marie Laveau?
I don't know much, monsieur. Someone at the Voodoo Museum can tell you all about her.
What else do you know about Marie Laveau?
I don't know much.
Tell me about yourself.
My name's Willie Walker. I own the place.
How did you get into this kind of business?
Now, why should I discuss my business with you, man?
So, this is a voodoo store, huh?
Voodoo? No, man. This a curio shop. The things you see here from local folklore. None of it real, I tell you for sure.
What about all these magic oils and powders you're selling? Aren't they a part of voodoo?
Read the label, man. We make no claims. Sold as curio only. It mean what it say, no? These are novelties, not voodoo.
So, do you get many tourists in here?
We, all the time. They want to buy a bottle of money-drawn oil or wang a bag to take home with them.
How's business?
About like always.
I'm a businessman too. I own a bookstore here in the quarter.
I don't really care, me. I got a store to run.
Have you always lived in Nolans?
My papa, and his papa, and his papa, all the way back to the days of Marie Laveau, we've been living here.
So, does any of this stuff actually work?
You crazy, man? These are just curios, novelties for the tourists.
Nice weather we're having.
Don't bother me. Can't you see I'm busy? St. John Eve coming, I got to be ready.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Caprice go.
What did you say?
Nothing. Them killings have nothing to do with my shop, monsieur.
What did you mean when you said Caprice encore?
I didn't say that.
You did. I heard you say it.
You heard wrong, monsieur. I said no such thing.
Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Ask what you want. I answer what I want.
To get what's in the case, Gabriel would need money.
Hi.
To get the mask, Gabriel would have to buy it. The mask appears to be made from a...
Can I ask you just a few more questions?
Whatever, man.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
The only one left is Willie Jr. over there, the old crocodile. He's sort of a mascot now, you know.
About Willie Jr., would you be willing to let him go?
Maybe. For $100.
100? You gotta be kidding.
Me and Willie Jr. are very close now. I couldn't part with him for less.
Would you take 50 for Willie Jr.?
Don't insult me, monsieur. The price is $120.
What? You said you'd sell it for 100 before.
You misheard, monsieur. The price was always $120.
Would you take 50 for Willie Jr.?
Don't insult me, monsieur. The price is $120.
What? You said you'd sell it for 100 before.
You misheard, monsieur. The price was always $120.
Would you...
Don't in...
What?
You
said you'd sell it for
monsieur.
100 before.
The price was always $120.
The poster advertised. It's a mannequin.
It must be the
There's no room.
It must be the crocodile.
The sign says, Special Saint.
Lock me up.
The sign says,
Lock me up. My French is lousy, but... Can I ask you just a... What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It's the biggest night of the year in voodoo.
What goes on exactly?
I couldn't say.
Would you take 50 for Willie Jr.?
Don't insult.
What?
You
You said
misheard
you'd sell
me,
it for
Junior.
100
The
before.
price was always 120.
garlic clove.
I know where to come if I ever have a vampire problem. I'll pass.
Brood bags, curio box. Took it was. The Dixieland drug. The Dixieland drugstore has a rather terrifying way of dealing with shoplifters.
Can I ask you just...
Dried herbs.
Those are gree-gree. Eh?
No thanks. Can I ask you just a few... Can I ask you just a few more quick... Does this mean anything to you?
I don't know anything about that at all.
A flyer advertising Magenta Moonbeam, a local voodooienne. Her parlor is on the corner of Orleans and Dauphine.
Do you recognize this pattern?
Don't look familiar at all, monsieur.
Does this mean anything to you?
I don't know anything about that at all.
Would you mind taking a look at this photograph? Gabriel, what does that mean?
Nothing, man. I didn't say nothing like that. You heard me wrong, man.
Does this mean anything to you?
I don't know anything about that at all.
Do you recognize this pattern?
Don't look familiar at all, monsieur.
Do you know anything about snake scales?
I got some snake root and snake powder, but I order them wholesale. I don't handle snakes. I don't like them at all.
Can I ask you just...
A sign on the front door of Magenta's home reads, "Attuning with the Spirit Realm," back on June 22nd. A sign... The huge trees bear beards of Spanish moss. These trees have been here for 100 years. They're not going anywhere. Perfectly groomed hedges run along the front of the porch. Gabriel didn't come here to mess with the plants. The Garden District is famous for its elaborate old plantation homes and mansions. This particular mansion is impeccably groomed. This is private property. Gabriel should stay near the front door till invited to do otherwise. Potted roses mark the entrance to the house. Gabriel didn't come here to mess with the plants. The Garden District is famous for its elaborate old plantation homes and mansions. This particular mansion is impeccably groomed. The windows are made of thick, heavy glass. The only thing Gabriel can see inside is even thicker drapery. It wouldn't be worth breaking into Malia's house. Tall, narrow shutters provide beauty and protection. The shutters are attached to the house.
May I help you?
The man looks intellectual, polished, and impervious. He gazes at Gabriel with a superior eye. Gabriel wonders if he's Malia's secretary, bodyguard, butler, or something more personal. Better not try that. The man looks ready to whip up an army at the slightest notice.
I'd like to see Malia Getty, please.
I'm sorry, but unless you have an appointment or official business, I cannot announce you.
Please let me in.
No. Go away before I call the police. May I help you?
Better not try.
I do have official business.
Really? Please tell me the nature of your business.
I'd really like to see Malia Getty.
I told you that unless you have official business with Ms. Getty, I cannot let you in.
Are you tired of polishing silver day in and day out?
We don't have silver. All of our utensils are solid gold.
Oh, I see. Well, I represent Lumor Armored Cars, and...
Beat it. And comb your hair. May I help you?
I've got important business with Miss Getty.
Yes. I'm waiting on some evidence of that, sir.
Encyclopedias?
Go away. May I help you?
I've got important business with Miss Getty.
Yes. I'm waiting on some evidence of that, sir.
I have a fine selection of magazine subscriptions for sale.
We do not welcome solicitors. May I help you?
I've got important business with Miss Getty.
Yeah.
Wrong house. Never mind.
Fine. Good day. May I help you?
Does this do anything for you?
No, it does not, sir.
Does this do anything for you?
No, it does not, sir.
Does this do anything for you?
No.
My name is Detective Mosley. I'm here on police business.
Really? How interesting. Wait here. I'll inform Miss Getty. Miss Getty will see you. Right this way. Miss Getty will be down shortly.
Thank you.
What can I do for you, Detective?
Undoubtedly proof that there is a God. I'm trying
Trying what?
to reach the, truth.
Gabriel is trying to impress the girl, not make her gag.
Beautiful women. They must be relatives.
They are.
It would be rude to take that now, but Gabriel makes a mental note about it for the prenuptial. The only thing Gabriel wants to mess around with in his room is Malia herself.
Beautiful women.
They are.
It would be the only thing.
Modern art.
More or less. It's a Picasso.
Harvard classics. Homer, Virgil. Maybe Malia wouldn't be impressed by a signed copy of one of Gabriel's novels. Gabriel's already read that one. Harvard. Genuine lion skin.
I can imagine doing things on that rug.
Excuse me?
Oh, nothing.
It would be rude to take that now, but Gabriel makes a mental note about it for the prenuptial. The only thing Gabriel... The only thing Gabriel's likely to burn here is his bridges. Gabriel's hot enough.
It's rather warm in here, isn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry if you're uncomfortable. The fireplace doesn't really give off much heat without the stove insert, so I indulge myself, even in the summer.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's the fireplace anyway.
The only thing, Gabriel,
Undoubtedly proof.
roses and gardenias give the air a sweet taste. The side table probably costs more than Gabriel's shop.
I can rearrange things once I move in. I can
Dante's Inferno. Nothing like a little light reading. Gabriel's already read that one.
Nice statue. I like it.
Thank you. It's The Rebellious Slave by Michelangelo.
It would be rude to... The only thing... The Getty Library is as well put together as Malia herself. Classy, rich, flawless, pure cream. The leather on the chair is as soft as butter. Gabriel's coat feels like rawhide in comparison.
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Miss Getty?
I assume that's what you're here for, Detective.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? Why would you want to know about that, Detective? It's rather silly, isn't it?
There's nothing silly about the voodoo murders.
But that voodoo is faked. That's what I've read in the papers.
That's what the papers say, all right.
But you're not convinced.
No, frankly, I'm not. The police department isn't known for its imagination.
Oh? Well, I can see that your imagination is considerable.
Are you sure you can't tell me anything about voodoo?
I really don't know much about it. Isn't there some place in town that you can find out about that sort of thing? A museum or something?
I believe there is a museum.
Then maybe you should check there.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The murders? Only what I read in the papers.
And what do you read in the papers?
I'm sure you know much more about it than I, Detective.
Tell me about your life in New Orleans.
The Getty family came to New Orleans in 1800. We worked very hard to get where we are. On the other hand, we've done a lot for this community.
I can believe that. You're doing a lot for me right now. Tell me more about New Orleans.
I'm afraid I don't get out into New Orleans society much. Because of the Getty money, we have slots in the best country clubs and on the best Mardi Gras courts. But I must admit I hate it. I avoid actually making an appearance unless it becomes absolutely necessary.
I know about those courts. They're very exclusive.
Yes, especially when it comes to people of my race. That's why we don't turn down the appointments. It's a rare opportunity to rub their noses in it. But that's not where I spend my time. I have more important things to do with my life.
That's admirable. Many women would love the chance to get caught up in that kind of life.
I'm not any kind of woman you might be familiar with.
Yes, I can see that. Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm no expert. I don't fear them like most people do.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I believe it's some sort of local holiday. but I don't know much about it.
What do you know about Marie Laveau?
I've heard of her, of course, but that's about it.
Do you have any idea what Cabri Saint-Caux means?
No, I don't. What does it mean, Detective?
That's confidential information, ma'am.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
Animal masks? I don't know what you mean.
Tell me about yourself.
I suppose I don't really have a choice. What do you want to know, Detective?
What kind of things interest you?
I don't have a lot of free time, but I do appreciate the arts. Opera, symphony, ballet, fine art. If you look around, you'll see that we collect African art, for example.
Yes, it's very beautiful.
It is, Detective. It means a great deal to me.
Do you have a career?
A career? Being the head of a Getty family is a 24-hour-a-day job. We have many holdings and many responsibilities, financial and otherwise. The management of our business affairs and properties leaves me with time for little else.
Poor little rich girl?
Believe it or not, Detective, wealth does have its price.
Tell me about your family.
The Gettys? We're a very private family.
How many people are there in your family?
Well, my mother just passed away.
Oh, I am sorry.
So am I. She was a magnificent woman. We were very close. I was an only child.
And your father?
I never knew him.
It's hard to believe that any man would leave a woman like you. Or like your mother must have been.
He did not leave, Detective. But that's really none of your concern.
I'm sorry. Go on.
There are, of course, other Gettys in the city. I have a large extended family.
I see. Do you have a husband, boyfriend?
I'm very independent, Detective. The women in my family have always preferred it that way.
So you've never been married?
No, and I never will be.
What about children?
Yes, that is likely. Someday.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I have a business degree from Vanderbilt. I wanted to study psychology, but my family's interests came first.
Oh, why not something like law, then? Surely that would have been an asset to the family.
Law? Please. I do have some morals, Detective.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
For the record, I'm 28, Detective.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I have few friends. A woman in my position can't really afford them.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I try to stay away from the media as much as possible. Last year there was that story about John Jr. and I. Phone didn't stop ringing for weeks. I prefer to keep my private life private. I would appreciate it if you'd keep my name away from any public association with the police, Detective.
Of course. I wouldn't know where to begin.
As you wish, Detective.
This is quite a place.
Thank you. It's been in the family a long time.
Done anything exciting lately?
I'm sorry, but I'm very busy. Can we get to the point?
So what's new with you?
Nothing that would interest you, I'm sure, Detective.
Do you receive all your visitors in this library?
Usually. I feel more comfortable surrounded by things that I love.
So, you like books?
My books, my art, yes.
You know, we have a lot more in common than you might imagine.
I would love to chat about that sometime, Detective. But I'm really pressed at the moment.
Can you tell me anything about what happened out at the lake?
I wish I could. But I've never seen or heard anything unusual at the lake. And I do spend quite a bit of time out there.
Excuse me, but your eyes are really distracting. I don't think I've ever seen a color quite like that brownish gold. It's so deep and rich. Man, if I could bottle that, I'd make a fortune.
Thank you, Detective. That's an interesting observation, though probably not relevant to your case.
A good detective never knows what might be relevant, Miss Getty.
Then you must be truly exceptional at your job.
I can't help noticing that you're in incredible shape, Miss Kitty. Your legs are so strong. Do you work out at one of the clubs by the lake?
Well, Detective, I do enjoy physical activity.
Oh, me too.
Actually, I was referring to swimming and modern dance. I can't say that I do much exercising at the lake, though.
Ah, well, it was worth asking.
I think this has gone on long enough. You're not really a detective, are you?
Who, me? Well, I am on this case, Miss Kitty.
I saw you at the lake yesterday. I thought you must be with the police since you were there, but you don't act like a police officer. Besides, I'm rather certain that the other man said his name was Mosley.
All right, you caught me. I'm not with the police. My name is Gabriel Knight. I'm a writer working with Detective Mosley on a book.
Well, Mr. Knight, now that we've established who you are, perhaps you can tell me the real reason you're here.
Well, I am researching the book, and I thought you might have seen or heard something at the lake.
I don't like liars, Mr. Knight.
Okay, you're right. I really just wanted to see you again. You can be mad at me if you want, but I swear I've never done anything like this before.
Mr. Knight, you've lied about your identity and wasted my time with meaningless questions. If it weren't vaguely flattering, I'd really be angry. You're lucky I don't call the real police. I think you should go, Mr. Knight.
Malia, wait. If you just give me a chance.
I've wasted enough time. I'll have Robert show you out. Robert? Show Mr. Knight out, please.
I most certainly will.
Thank you very much. I had a lovely time. Ah, shit.
Miss Getty is busy, officer, and has instructed me to wish you good luck. That is all.
If you just tell her...
Goodbye, sir. Miss Getty is busy, officer. Good.
Hi. Can I ask you just...
The proprietor doesn't... Near the Laveau tomb is a piece of red brick, undoubtedly a cast-off from spiritual graffiti writers. It's a piece of brick. Odd-looking marks adorn the Laveau tomb wall. Gabriel can't take the marks with him that way. The wall doesn't work that way. The wall doesn't work that way.
I want a copy of these strange marks.
Gabriel can't put his sketch back on the wall. Gabriel can't. The marks are reddish in color and remind Gabriel of crosses. They look like they've been here a few days at least. The marks are reddish. Looking at the series of crosses, Gabriel can't help but think they have a pattern and meaning he is not comprehending. It's Gabriel's sketch of the series of crosses from the Laveau tomb wall. Food, trinkets, and more unsettling things have been left at Marie Laveau's tomb as offerings from believers.
No thanks.
New Orleans is famous for its above-ground tombs. The high water table prevents bodies from being interred underground.
No way. Something might answer. No way.
New Orleans is...
No way.
New Orleans... St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 is one of the most historic and beautiful places in the quarter. This tomb...
But I wouldn't want to live there.
The marble denizens of the cemetery only stare back blankly. This tomb almost looks...
But I wouldn't... No way.
A stone angel stands silently before a tomb. Vases seem to be a favorite decoration for the dead.
These would seriously clash with my decorating scheme.
The marble...
I don't need to go visit the family tomb today. I don't need to go visit the family tomb today. Two enormous vases flank the front of the Getty tomb.
Gabriel looks at and in the vases, but he doesn't see anything he wants to take. An angel draped dramatically over a stone plinth marks the entrance to a large tomb. The imposing tomb is elaborately labeled Getty. Two heavy, solid marble doors provide an entrance to the tomb. The tomb door is securely shut against the material world. The doors are heavy and shut tight.
Open sesame.
Nope, that doesn't work. The tomb door. The doors. Most of the plaster has fallen away over the years to reveal walls of red brick. This tomb is smaller than most others in the cemetery.
Kind of a pup tent for the dead.
With a few exceptions, these tombs are all beginning to look alike. A stone angel leans down to gaze at something unseen. An old man tends the cemetery with movements akin to a slow drawl. The old man is apparently doing some cleanup work. Seeing as how this is a cemetery, Gabriel doesn't really want to know what all is in that trash can.
Mind if I pick your brain a minute?
Go ahead. These folks ain't in no hurry.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
They say it was part of an old religion from Africa, brought here by slaves.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I don't really care to talk about it. I don't do it none myself.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Isn't it just awful, them finding those bodies with the voodoo things around them? I don't think there's any real voodoo going on. Somebody trying to cover their tracks is all.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I told you all I know about that.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
Seem like everyone wants to visit New Orleans at least once in their lives. And they love the cemetery tours. I see tourists in here every day of the year.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
There are lots of things to see here, but none as beautiful as St. Louis Cemetery #1.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
If you want to know more, you should ask someone else.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? I see snakes around here all the time. Most of them aren't poisonous, of course. I don't mind snakes myself, but lots of folks are afraid of them.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I told you all I know about that.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
Whereas St. John the Baptist is the patron saint of voodoo. Sometimes we get weird goings-on in the cemetery on that night. More often on a few nights before. People taking grave dirt, bones, and who know what.
That's pretty disgusting.
Yep. Don't know what they do with them, but it can be pretty.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
I told you all I know about that.
Do you have any idea what Capri Sankal means?
Nope, can't say that I do.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Tell me about yourself.
My name is Toussaint Gervais. I'm the watchman here at St. Louis number 1.
What exactly do you do here?
Oh, I keep the place tidy, of course. A big part of my job, too, is looking out for the grievers. People come to pay their respects, and they need looking out for. Sometimes they so grief-bound, they don't know what they doing.
Tell me about yourself.
That's about all there is to say.
Tell me something about St. Louis Cemetery number 1.
You know why the dead are buried in tombs and not in the ground, don't you? The water table's too high. Them coffins will float right out of their grave. Ha! Them dead will go floating right down into the Dakota. Of course, if it were Mardi Gras, nobody'd even notice. It's a historical place. People buried in here from the Civil War. Back further, too. Take a look around. You'll see.
Tell me something about St. Louis Cemetery number 1.
Just look around. You'll get the feel of the place.
You been working here a long time?
Longer than you've been alive, son. I mayhaps be here longer than you'll be alive, for that matter.
Kind of a quiet job you got, isn't it?
Most of the time, yeah. They act up some at the full moon, though.
You must enjoy the company of dead folks.
Unlike the living, they ain't never given no reason to dislike them none.
How's business today?
About like every day. It's what you call a seller's market.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Sure. She was the voodoo queen of New Orleans. A powerful voodooian and a powerful sorcerer. Believers still come to her tomb, you know. They write secret marks on the walls, leave offerings. They're names of tourists. They come out of curiosity. As a matter of fact, that big Dr. John fella from that voodoo museum, he's here at least once a day. But Marie Laveau's tomb isn't the only one the believers visit and make markings and leave offerings at.
You said there were other locked tombs?
Yep. I've seen bull hearts left on tombs and a nest of vulture feathers, plates of peas and congreve, animal parts, human parts even, it look like. Male parts, if you get my meaning. And this is one of the great family crypts, mind you. Odd how them types just pick a spot and stick to it.
What else can you tell me about Marie Laveau?
Her tomb's on all our tours. Even the Baptists come round here to gawk. Of course, you may not know this, but some of the real serious voodoo types argue that she ain't in this one at all. Down in the unmarked tomb in number 3. It's all the same to me, I say. Saved me a lot of cleanup work if she weren't here, if you ask me.
What other tombs got marked? Can you show me?
No, I ain't one for naming names. I don't like to encourage that kind of thing. It's distressing to the families, and rightly so.
I'm sorry to bother you.
You got something to say, son?
Does this mean anything to you?
Jesus, Mary and Joseph, son. Don't be showing that kind of thing to me. I'm an old man. I'm liable to just keel right over on you.
Sorry. Does this mean anything to you?
Nope.
Does this mean anything to you?
Nope.
Does this mean anything to you?
Nope.
Aye. Can I ask you... Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Yep, I mind, all right.
Why?
Because A, I don't know anything, and B, I'm busy.
Oh.
A doobie dog vendor has set up business in the square. He has his nose buried in a paperback novel. Gabriel notices that it is not one of his. Big surprise.
You seem to be quite a reader.
Yep.
Did you ever read anything by Gabriel Knight?
Nope.
The vendor is clearly not interested in further conversation. A small boy is tap dancing enthusiastically for a doobie dog vendor. The vendor ignores him. That would be, at the very least, illegal.
You dance pretty well for a kid.
Give me some money then.
I don't have any.
Then don't block the view, mister.
Do you do requests?
Got any money?
Nope.
Something to eat?
No.
There you have it. No.
Can't think of anything at the moment.
Okay then.
Can't think of it.
Oh.
Oh, hey! Oh, come back here. Hey! Oh, unbelievable. Rotten luck.
There's a drawing caught up against a statue. Gabriel can't reach the drawing from where he is. Gabriel can't bend the bars. He's too big to fit through them. And ooh, those spikes on top look sharp. There's a drawing cut.
Hey, float over here, would you?
The drawing ignores Gabriel. Gabriel can't reach the drawing from where he is.
Can you fit through the bars around the statue?
Got any money?
Nope.
There you have it. No.
Can't think of anything at the moment.
Okay, then.
Could I get a doobie dog, please?
Not now. I'm busy.
An unambitious person in the 90s. Amazing. The vendor wouldn't be interested in seeing that. The vendor wouldn't be... The vendor wouldn't be... The vendor wouldn't... A flyer avenue.
Hello, are you selling doobie dogs or not?
The vendor ignores Gabriel entirely.
Hey, Grace, here I am.
Oh boy, party time.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve? Never heard of it. Must be a local custom. New Orleanians love to party.
Do you have any idea what Cabri Saint-Caux means?
No. Sounds French, though.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
I'd rather not hear about your sex life, Knight.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Wasn't she a big voodoo queen before the Civil War?
That's right.
Well, you've just heard everything I know about her.
Do you have messages for me?
Nope, none right now.
Tell me about yourself, Grace.
What do you want to know?
Nothing, I guess. Never mind.
That doesn't seem to work that way.
You want to see something really cool?
Oh, that's disgusting. That's really horrible.
I know, great, isn't it?
God, somebody ought to lock you up.
Like my badge?
Where did you get that?
Mosley let me borrow it.
Gabriel, you're such a shit. I'm gonna call him up right now and tell him you have that.
No, I might need it. I'll give it back to him later.
Well, I hope he throws you in jail when you do.
That doesn't seem to work. That doesn't seem... That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Gabriel checks the drawer again. Just in case life as we know it changed significantly since he last looked. Gabriel doesn't want to take that with him. Gabriel doesn't... Gabriel does... Gabriel does...
I trust you can live without this old gift certificate.
Knock yourself out.
So what do you think of this gift certificate?
I think that promotion was the best idea you ever had. And I mean that sincerely.
I'm out of here. Try not to sell out the store while I'm gone.
Uh-huh.
I have this gift certificate.
I'm busy.
It's good for $20 at St. George's Books. Finest bookstore in New Orleans.
Really? I'll have to check it out sometime.
You could take this gift certificate with you. If you'll give me a doobie dog.
A doobie dog for a $20 gift certificate? Sure, here you go.
The doobie dog is plump and juicy.
Can't think of any?
Okay.
You wouldn't like a doobie dog by any chance.
Would I? Thanks, mister. You got any special requests? Let me know.
You mentioned something about special requests.
Yeah, you got one?
Can you fit through the bars around the statue?
Can I? Just watch me.
Good. There's something in there I can't quite reach. Can you reach that piece of paper?
Sure thing. Here you go.
Thanks, kid.
Yup. See ya.
It's a technical drawing of St. Louis Cathedral. An artist is taking advantage of the fine weather.
Stupid wind. Now I have to start all over.
Those drawing tools are amazing.
Yeah, they're great for laying lines, angles, circles, you know, anything geometric. It's pretty meticulous, but I prefer it to freehand.
Can you draw anything with those tools?
They're great for ordered, complex forms and patterns, but they won't help me do Monet.
How's it going?
Life sucks. I just lost 2 days worth of work.
What are you working on now?
Just starting another drawing of the cathedral.
This belongs to you, doesn't it?
My drawing. How'd you get it?
Oh, it was a bit of a squeeze, but I hate to see you lose your work. I lost my only copy of a manuscript once.
Well, you saved my butt. Let me know if I can ever do the same for you, hey?
Is there any way you can reconstruct the whole pattern from this partial?
Okie dokie. Well, I might be able to reconstruct the pattern if I had more data, but this is just one small area of it. What is this from, anyway?
You'd never believe me.
I'll see what I can do.
I have some more of those patterns.
Really? Let's see. Yeah, these are great. I think there's enough overlap now. I'll give it my best shot. I'll show you what I come up with tomorrow.
Great. I appreciate it. Nice drawing of the cathedral.
Hey, thanks.
It's really precise.
Well, I'm an architectural student, actually. It's good practice.
Do you mind if I watch you?
Be my guest.
Is there anything else you need to do that reconstruction?
Nope, I think I have enough now, thanks.
Hi. Can I ask you just a few more quicks? Would you take... What? Does this mean anything to you?
I don't know anything about that at all.
Hey, bud.
You!
Last time I looked.
Give me my badge, right now!
Oh, is that why you're so excited? If you knew what I needed it for,
I'm sure it was to impress a woman. You could have asked. Do you know how embarrassing it is to admit your badge was stolen? I had a photo with the chief, and he wanted me wearing it. I should lock you up, Knight.
I suppose you could. Seems to me, though, there was that time you borrowed my bike without mentioning it, right from in front of my shop.
Yeah, don't remind me. Just don't do it again.
can I ask you about some stuff?
You're the writer. Ask away.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
There's voodoo that goes on in this city, sure. I looked into it a bit at the beginning of this case. But the voodoo stuff found at the crime scenes is all it's intimidating.
Does the phrase Cabri Sans Call mean anything to you?
Hell no! Is that French? My mother spoke it, but I always had a hard enough time just speaking English.
True enough. What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
That's coming up, isn't it? We get some occasional weirdness in the quarter, but nothing much. Used to have a lot of strange things happen, though, or so I hear.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Is she that red-headed chick that works at Freddy's?
No.
Then I don't know her.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
Animal masks? You mean like those Halloween masks they sometimes use in robberies?
I don't think so. More like real animals.
Never ran across anything like that.
Hi. Can I ask you...
Hey, Grace, here I am.
Oh boy, party time.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Could you do some research for me?
Sure, what?
I can't think of anything. Do you have messages for me?
Nope.
A sign on the front door.
The sign says the overlook... I don't want any of it.
The shelf holds containers of dried root bags to get what's in the root bag. The Dixieland drugs. The entire shelf is stocked with containers of Hyde John the Conqueror root powder.
I don't know what that stuff does, but I don't like the sound of it.
It's nearly as old as the one at St. George's. Willie looks ready to defend that cash register with his life. The sign says, Special St. John's Eve Lagniappe.
Lagniappe.
Herbal oils for love. To get what's in the propriety. Garlic clove.
I know where to come if I'll pass.
The poster advert.
Can I ask you? Would you take?
Don't.
What?
You misheard, monsieur. The price was always 120.
Does this mean anything?
I don't know.
Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
The voodoo shrine is filled with items that both fascinate Gabriel and also make his skin crawl.
Could I ask you some more questions?
Of course. I also find our dialogue stimulating.
Do you know what Caprice and Call means?
I fear my French is not all it should be, Mr. Knight.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
I used to have some antique African totem masks, but they were on the point of disintegration, so I removed them.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It is one of the important ceremonial nights in voodoo.
Do these symbols mean anything to you?
No, they look like nonsense to me. Where did you get them, if I might inquire?
I saw them scribbled somewhere. Just graffiti, I guess.
I see. By the way, I forgot to warn you, Mr. Knight. The local cemeteries are quite dangerous. Buggers, vandals. I would avoid going there alone if I were you.
Really? Thanks for the advice.
Does this mean anything to you?
I cannot say that it does.
Are you sure you don't recognize anything about the ritual in this photo?
I told you, sir. That has nothing to do with voodoo.
Right. Sorry. Could I ask?
Of course.
Could I ask you? Hi. Can I ask you?
The Dixieland drugs.
Do you know anything about these crosses? I think there's some kind of code.
Look like a lot of hand tracks to me, man.
Does this mean anything to you?
I don't know anything about that at all.